Orchestraville.
Orchestraville? Where's that?
You change four score and 7 to 87?
Oh, that view is tremendous.
Blue sky.
A landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force.
I don't blame them for dyeing your hair, I said, but they waited too long to embalm it.
Time now for spinning my dad's vinyl. Here with all his skips, scratches, and pops is my dad, Frank Vaccarello.
Thanks, sweetie, and thank you for tuning into episode 74 of Spinning My Dad's Vinyl. Well, it's a 78 RPM Sunday, and so far, when we've played these extra old records, they've come in an album with several records tied around one theme. But my dad had a ton of shellac records with no covers just lying around in stacks. After sorting them by record label, I thought you might like to hear from the most popular label in this part of my dad's collection. So, get ready for lots of high-speed hiss, but fun tunes, 2 at a time, with Volume 74, 8 Sides from Columbia.
Oh, that's the Woody Woodpecker song. Yeah, he's a-pecking it all day long. He pecks a few holes in a tree to see if a redwood's really red. And it's nothing to him on the tiniest whim to peck a few holes in your head. Oh, that's the Woody Woodpecker too. Makes the other woodpeckers swoon. Though it doesn't make sense to the doll and the dance, and the lady woodpeckers long for. That's the Woody Woodpecker song. Woody Woodpecker serenade on the Woodpecker hit parade. Though he can't sing a note, there's a frog in his throat. All his top notes come out blurred. He's a lady's first choice with a laugh in his voice. He gives all his rivals a bird. He'll be settling down someday. He'll be hearing the preacher say, for the rest of your life you'll be woody and white, and the choir will sing along with the Woody Woodpecker song.
Spinning My Dad's Vinyl.
When Veronica plays the harmonica down on the pier at Santa Monica, when she gives out with Gershwin or Bach, the perch and barracuda come wiggling up to the dock. The seals and haddocks get acrobatic when she plays on her chromatic. When she plays boogie-woogie, lobster flippity-flop. She even made a submarine blow its top. When Veronica plays her harmonica down on the pier at Santa Monica. When Veronica plays the harmonica down on the pier at Santa Monica, she plays mad jive for the het catfish. She even plays a tune for a tuna that swims with a swish. A big fat turtle whose name was Myrtle sure can shiver till she broke her girdle. The whale that swallowed Jonah yelled across the bay, I'll open up my mouth and let you out today to hear Veronica play her harmonica down on the pier at Santa Monica. To Happy Sturgeon, whose hats were merging, were married when her wedding march was surging. See, Sturgeon had some little ones with eyes of blue, who taught a school of eels and kids at herring too, to play harmonica with our Veronica down on the pier at Santa Monica.
Veronica, harmonica, Santa Monica. That was Kyser's Campus Cowboys with When Veronica Plays the Harmonica, written by Tommy Mack, Jim Mulcahy, and Mildred Mulcahy, with vocals by Gloria Wood, and it was recorded in December of 1947. We started things off with Kyser and his orchestra with Woody Woodpecker, a Walter Lantz cartoon. Yes, there was a more full version than what you heard every Saturday morning. Was written by Ramey Idris and George Tibbles, with vocal chorus once again from Gloria Wood. It was recorded December 31st, 1947. And that was both sides of Columbia record number 38197, released on May 10th, 1948. By the way, Woody Woodpecker appeared on the May 29th, 1948 Billboard charts. It was listed first under record reviews, and on June 5th, 1948 Billboard best-selling popular retail record and Columbia ads, it was also listed as first. Okay, why did I choose these sides for this episode? While I was finally getting around to sorting the new 78 RPM shellac additions to my dad's overall collection, I noticed that just a small handful of record labels were represented with more than a handful of records. So I thought grouping the records that are not connected to any album set would work for some of these shows. Now, these four records are completely assorted and really don't have any connection other than the Columbia label, and I thought they were among the most entertaining songs in the stack. Now, my dad's, all four of them, the 78 RPM records are in poor shape. I found a slightly thicker needle to play them on, so they don't sound as bad as a couple earlier recordings. As I looked at the prices for some of these records online, I found them mostly in the $10 to $15 range. Some of them looked in worse condition than my dad's, so I'll value each of the records I'm playing on this episode at $5. And if you're a regular listener to this show, you'll notice that I just combined the first two breaks since we have such limited information about each of these records, and I'm only breaking 4 times instead of the 6 this episode. So, now, another popular recording group from the 1940s.
Popping up soda pop Ricky to our heart's delight. Dance to swing
real quickies, jukebox Saturday night.
Goodman and Kyser and Miller help to make things bright.
Mixing hot flakes of vanilla, jukebox Saturday night. They put nothing past us.
Me and Honeyland
Making one coat last us till it's time to scram. Money, we really don't need that.
we'll make out alright.
Flatten the other guy, feed that jukebox Saturday night. After sipping a soda, we got a scheme. Somebody else plays the record machine. It's so easy to say pet names when you listen to the trumpet of Harry James.
We love to hear that tenor crew whenever the ink spots sing a tune. If I didn't know why the roses grow, then I wouldn't know why the roses grow.
Now you listen here to me, honey child, if I didn't know all of them there little things I'm supposed to know, then I sure would be a sad man
If I didn't know
Money, we really don't need it. We'll make out alright. Let the other guy feed that jukebox Saturday night.
Spinning My Dad's Vinyl.
Don't let me wait. Come to me tenderly in the June light. I stand at your gate and I sing you a song in the moonlight. A love song, my darling. A moonlight serenade.
Why are the stars always winking and blinking above? What makes a fellow start thinking of falling in love?
It's not the season, the reason is plain as the moon. It's just Elmer's tune. The hurdy-gurdies, the birdies, the cop on the beat. The baker and the man on the street.
the city charmer, the farmer, the man in the moon.
I'll sing Elmer's tune, babe. I'll sing Elmer's tune. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me.
Anyone else but me.
Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo?
Yes, yes, track 29.
Boy, you could give me a shine.
She's gonna cry, tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo,
Won't you choo-choo me home?
Chattanooga, Chattanooga,
Get on board, out of
Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga choo-choo, carry me home.
Two from the Modernaires with Paula Kelly and the orchestra under the direction of Mitchell Ayres. That was A Salute to Glen Miller. The medley consisted of Moonlight Serenade, Elmer's Tune, Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree with Anyone Else But Me, and Chattanooga Choo Choo. Those songs were written by Parrish, Miller, Albrecht, Gallup, Juergens, Browns, Tobias, Stepp, Gordon, and Warren. It was recorded on February 11th, 1946. Before that, it was Jukebox Saturday Night, with that was written by Stillman and McRae. It was recorded on February 8th, 1946. And that was from Columbia record number 36992, released on May 20th, 1946. Well, let's learn a little about the featured record label on this stack of wax. The Columbia Phonograph Company was founded on January 15, 1889 by stenographer, lawyer, and New Jersey native Edward D. Easton, who lived from 1856 to 1915, and a group of investors. It derived its name from the District of Columbia, where it was headquartered. At first, it had a local monopoly on sales and service of Edison phonographs and phonograph cylinders in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Delaware. As was the custom of some of the regional phonograph companies, Columbia produced many commercial cylinder recordings of its own, and its catalog of musical records in 1891 was 10 pages. Columbia's ties to Edison and the North American Phonograph Company were severed in 1894 with the North American Phonograph Company's breakup. Thereafter, it sold only records and phonographs of its own manufacture. In 1902, Columbia introduced the XP record, a molded brown wax record to use up old stock. Columbia began selling disc records invented and patented by Victor Talking Machine Company's Emil Berliner, and phonographs in addition to the cylinder system in 1901. For a decade, Columbia competed with both the Edison Company, Phonograph Company cylinders, and the Victor Talking Machine Company disc records as one of the top 3 names in American recorded sound. After an abortive attempt in 1904 to manufacture discs with the recording groove stamped into both sides of each disc, not just one, in 1908, Columbia commenced successful mass production of what they called their double-faced discs, the 10-inch variety initially selling for 65 cents apiece, now $11.42. In July 1912, Columbia decided to concentrate exclusively on disc records and stopped manufacturing cylinder phonographs. On February 25, 1925, Columbia began recording with the electric recording process licensed from Western Electric. Vivatonal Records set a benchmark in tone and clarity unequaled on commercial discs during the 78 RPM era. In 1926, Columbia acquired OK Records and its growing stable of jazz and blues artists, including Louis Armstrong. The company was sold, resold, went into bankruptcy, got broken up into antitrust laws when it got too big. Even at one point, went on to purchase its former parent, American Columbia, in late 1929. Columbia is the oldest surviving brand name in the recorded sound business and the second major company to produce records. It is currently owned by Sony Music Entertainment, a subsidiary of Sony Corporation of America, the North American division of Japanese conglomerate Sony. I have no idea how to get through that tangled web. But next up, it's Rosemary and Jose.
My luck, she is running very good.
I got a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin. They keep the hunger out and the happiness in. I got a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin. My luck, she is running very good.
I fly over jungle and my aeroplane boil. Got no gasoline and I run out of oil. I fill the tank with the gin and the banana oil. My luck, she is running very good.
Ole, oh lady,
That zebra is red hot, mama.
ole, oh lady.
She is horse in lounging pyjama.
We land in the jungle by the teeth of my skin. All the animals crowd around the flying machine.
Big gorilla walk up to me and talk very mean. He put up his mitts, I suck him on the chin. Then gorilla and me, we begin with a bunch of bananas
And a bottle of gin.
A bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin make the crazy sandwich full of vitamin. Outside you put the bananas and the gin in between. My luck, she is running very good. Today I meet Tiger, he is hungry for meals. So I feed him gin to obtain his goodwill. Then when he chased me, he slipped on the banana peel. My luck, she is running very good.
He got girls like Indian Raja.
Ole, oh lady.
I don't need no Rita or Jaja.
On Congo we meet the pretty cannibal queen. We are posing for pictures in the Life magazine.
She proposed poker game to pass the time in between. She promised she make me her king if I win, but if I lose, I wind up in her big soup tureen
With a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin.
Spinning my dad's vinyl.
When Jose he pay a visit, they no have to ask who is it. He'll announce himself in his own adorable way. In the good old Yankee fashion, with a bit of Latin passion, he goes, ole.
Have you don't hear of Rosita, such a lovely señorita? She was fool enough to go fall in love with Jose. When she tell him that she love him, then she never see more of him with his ole.
Ay, ay, who's the guy at the door? The guy with the nod of a mole. He is Casanova's cousin. He gets kisses by the dozen with his ole.
He can sure pick a winner. He arrives in time for dinner. That's the time of night when his appetite is okay. He will take the last banana, but he won't come back mañana with his ole.
All the señoritas love it, and they want to hear more of it. They miss his kisses whenever he goes away. They would even cross the agua to Managua, Nicaragua for that ole.
Ay,
Ay, ay, Who's the Guy? Sung by Rosemary Clooney and Jose Ferrer, written by Games, Proser, and Smith. Before that, we heard A Bunch of Bananas from Clooney and Ferrer, written by Ogden Nash and Dick Manning. It was performed by Paul Weston's Orchestra and the Norman Luboff Choir. Recorded in 1954. Was released on Columbia Record number 40233 on May 17th, 1954. Time now for this episode's interesting side note, and it has to do with that last tune. A Bunch of Bananas was a novelty song based on Ernest Hemingway's 1953 jungle plane crash while on safari in Africa. You may have noticed the plane crash at the beginning of the song. For nearly a day, he was believed dead, but then he emerged from the jungle carrying a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin and was quoted as saying, "My luck, she is running very good." Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. There was some fun music in this episode, and I'm about to turn that level up for these last two tunes. While I knew some about my dad's 78 RPM records, I didn't know his collection of these was so vast, and it's been a treat getting to hear some of them as I start digitizing them. We will continue to dig into this part of his collection deeper each month on that final Sunday. So, let's wrap it up, of course, with a trumpet player you've heard before on this show, and we'll finish with one of my all-time favorite made-for-trumpet songs. Spinning My Dad's Vinyl. Harry James and his orchestra first performing the Carnival of Venice, composed by Niccolo Paganini with the Jean-Baptiste Arbon variation, and it was arranged by Harry James. And we finished with one of my favorites, Flight of the Bumblebee, composed by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov and arranged by James. Yes, each one of those tunes were adapted from 19th century opera. And both sides were recorded February 13th, 1941, and released on Columbia record number 36004 later that year. And there you have selections from one of the most popular record labels in my dad's 78 RPM section. So thanks for tuning into this 78 RPM Sunday, Volume 74, 8 sides from Columbia, however you did. If you want more information about this show, head over to spinningmydadsvinyl.com. I'll be back next week with all my skips, scratches, and pops for Volume 75, Everybody Loves Dean. Until then, go with the flow, my friends.